right, good morning. Another edition of Azzy on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. You're saying, of course, like we do here, it's constant. It's constant. Updates Azzy on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. We don't ever relent over here. It is consistent updates, and the best as well. Like I always tell you, though, you don't get it any better when you go away from here in terms of analysis. No, it's the best that you get it from me. Of course, thank you very much to everybody that comes in with some very nice words from all of you. And I heard some very exciting, nice words from some of you. I tried to reply most of them. I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Obviously, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that subscribed to the channel, that turned on notification, that make sure saying those keep turning, they choose all. Every one of you, of course, Chelsea fans most especially, consistent. You guys have been here. Of course, every time so they be a time who Barca for Madrid, for Arsenal, Man United, Man City, Liverpool fans. Now, I want to say a big thank you to you, to all of you over there. Of course, somebody encouraged that we should read some of the messages, and the team agrees. We'll go ahead and read yesterday. Rap Addict Martin 8054 said, "Champ, you are too good." Somebody sends the blue emojis. Somebody after Southampton game, they came and says, Maresca telling us Southampton is very difficult game, but reminds me of Pep Mind games. Emmanuel Adai 12124, and I sent a message. Now I think in Cook when Felix now deserve to play in the PL. I think Enzo Maresca said that several times. It's not as if these guys don't deserve to play in there. They deserve to play in there. They have to play in there. The thing, however, is that you can't be playing them every time. It's Southampton, and Southampton essentially a fairly weak side. So Ubitini Ateki Gambo no one ball players singing out together, but you can't be playing them DBR consistently back to back. Our English Premier League, you have defensive priorities, isn't it? I don't think the Enza said that, of course. Ata Doma Senior 5778. Say, Fifi, you can be a good coach. Well, I mean, we'll see about that. We say, Fifi, you are amazing. All you said came through. Good work, Fifi, giving us back-to-back analysis and updates. Of course, we want to do that. Personally, I think Gusto has lost from a bit compared to when he arrived at Chelsea. Eric sent that to us. Of course, Eric, I think that Gusto has not been the best one, but yesterday he was good. Yesterday, Gusto was very good in a game against Southampton. Of course, and that's a lot of people replying, telling him, what game did you watch yesterday? Great job, Fifi. And thank you to all of you guys, everybody that sent in messages here on Fiifi-Manfred. Each one say a big thank you to you. And then you want Sembebri, a lot of things that we want to talk about, of course, everywhere. In the conversation, Enzo Maresca said something about a branch friend in Noni Madueke, and for me, that's the conversation. Noni Madueke, Enzo Maresca Kafa Honor. It tells me a lot, and it will tell you a lot also when we talk about this, when we get into our analysis now. We'll talk about that also, our analysis. Now, let us go straight, and now a lot of games happen. Our English Premier League, even before the English Premier League, there was a big one. Our Spanish La Liga. The day before, now Barca travel away against Mallorca. So now the plan was Madrid had to repeat the Barca. Madrid also has to score, because now in the Spanish La Liga before Real Madrid match, the point difference was just 1 point. Before Real Barca match, it was just 1 point. So Madrid knows say omoko match say Barca share their call for there, so almost question on the one. So they almost show match against Valencia now. Then they can go on and close it, and then even go on top of the Spanish La Liga. Make sure say after the Barca game, I realized that yes, I like Hansi Ball. They're very pragmatic. They get a job done. It is good. My problem that I've spotted over the last 13-15 games of Hansi Flick ball and Hansi Ball at Barcelona is simple. It's essentially because Hansi Flick, the way of the ball, isolating the players, the best players 1v1. I mean, because they have the qualitative superiority in this animal. If he doesn't have it like that, if he's not as, say the players in your side, if his top players are not on top form, it affects his team. And of course, but if they're on top form, they are literally unplayable. That's why a lot of the guys are, Yeniomo Edin Kuma will tell you, say, Barca are good at playing the counter-attacking style and this animal. Yes. It's essentially about the counter-attacking style. But also, very importantly, it is more also about how Barca gets success when they isolate their best players 1v1. And now, Madrid had to do their job. They had to find a way to get a job done. But they weren't able to do it. Kylian Mbappe missed a penalty. In fact, before the game, we all did mention, say, going away to go to the back area to go and play against Athletic Bilbao in Bilbao was always going to be difficult. In fact, very, very difficult, especially when Bilbao have been in a very, very good run of form. Kuko Gorezeta, Inaki Williams, Nico Williams, these three guys have been on top form for Athletic Bilbao. And again, it was in the context of the fact, say, we were talking about a certain Real Madrid team that have lost a lot of players through injury. The fact, say, even at the back, it's the young Raul Asensio who had to slot in for Eder Militao. Yes, he has been good, but really, how was he going to fare against these guys when they go away to go and play against Bilbao? And it was a major conversation. Madrid went into that game with a return of our brand friend Aurelien Tchouameni into the starting lineup for team my friend of FC Real Madrid. And we'll walk you through all of that. Madrid game no start here. You look at the team, and it was a brand friend of Thibaut Courtois in post, Aurelien Tchouameni, Raul Asensio, Antonio Rudiger, Federico Valverde, Jude Bellingham, Lucas Vazquez, Dani Ceballos, Rodrigo Goes, Fran Garcia, and of course Kylian Mbappe. So it was a 4-1-2-1-2. Just so Madrid can have a footholder on Fiifi-Manfred to lock the middle of the park, to make sure say they have a lot of balls, to make sure say they have a lot of central occupation. That was how much when they went away to go and play against Tima, your friend Athletic Bilbao. Now, sure, after a loss, the last time Madrid lost 5 games in the first part of the season was August to December, was the season 2020-2021. And now Vinicius Jr. didn't have a good game. Real Madrid have lost 5 in the last 11 games. Our English Premier League game. Julian Aguirre-Zabala, the goalkeeper for Athletic Bilbao. Mbappe, he's a top player. I looked at his penalties. It is difficult. I saw the one versus Liverpool. So I believe he would go the same side. And luckily, I guess right. Talking about Mbappe penalty miss against Tima, your friend Athletic Bilbao. In the first half, it was 0-0. No goals had come in. Obviously, Madrid were boosted by the fact that Brandt and your friend Kylian Mbappe was coming in. It was a 4-1-2-1-2. Of course, the single pivot of Brandt, your friend Aurelien Tchouameni. Then on the left-hand side, Dani Ceballos. On the right-hand side, your Brandt, your friend Federico Valverde. On top of the diamond, your Brandt, your friend Jude Bellingham. Then, of course, up top was Kylian Mbappe and Rodrigo Goes, making the starting lineup for FC Real Madrid. And like we did say, it was an important game. And Madrid going away to the San Mamés, we knew that it was going to be a tough one over there. Of course, before that, a lot of people have been asking questions of Carlo Ancelotti. I've said it several times. So for me, sometimes Carlo Ancelotti overemphasizes too much on pragmatism. And sometimes he just wants a lot of the ball in terms of the turnovers, create the most chance from turnover. But sometimes I think that he needs also to invest in certain levels of control. And that's why for me, Ada Güler consistently being out of the Madrid team, it's something that I don't like. I think Ada Güler or Madrid team is definitely going to be important for them. And we take Graham Hunter, I would say the best manager this season in the La Liga so far. Boring answer, Ancelotti. You look at the injuries, it's ridiculous. The calendar is very demanding. And they have lost multiple key players. They could be top of the games with the games in hand. Of course, that was true, but away to the San Mamés, it wasn't a good one. It was 0-0 at halftime. In the second half, of course, Athletic Bilbao for they can share. And our branch friend Jude Bellingham, Betty Emmanuel 1-1, and later Athletic Bilbao. Emmanuel Ebaye 2-1. Of course, with first goal for Berenguer in the 53rd minute, and Jude Bellingham the 78th minute, just 2 minutes after Kuko Gorezeta. Emmanuel 2-1 for Athletic Bilbao and Madrid. Lususa match. And of course, Kylian Mbappe missed the penalty in there. And Carlo Ancelotti, right after that, spoke up to the media. First of all, on beside about Federico Valverde. So he said, like Mbappe, but Fede is untouchable over there. Ancelotti said, Kylian Mbappe, I haven't talked to him. We can't judge a game by just a missed penalty. Ancelotti, our second half was better than the first. We could get a better result, yes. But now we continue to fight and focus on this on Saturday. A change of penalty takers, no. There are 3, Vinicius, Bellingham, and Mbappe. All of them take penalties, 5 losses. We know we have to improve. We are not solid as last season. In terms of what we have to do over there, we have to keep working. This is the key. Well, we have played in that regard. That's exactly what we have to do. Carlo Ancelotti talking about exactly what he has to do with his Madrid team and Omolusu on game against Tima, your friend Athletic Bilbao. Ancelotti said we deserve at least a draw. Let's give Mbappe time. He is working hard. Ancelotti, we will recover Vinicius, Camavinga, Alaba, and improve our level. Talking about that, of course. After that, Mbappe went straight to IG and Okocha a bad result, a big mistake in a match where every detail counts. I take full responsibility for it, a difficult moment, but it's the best time to change the situation and show who I am. I'm talking about the not so good results in recent time. Federico Valverde also went onto Instagram, of course, and that Jude Bellingham Bano said, no problem, no reason to apologize. We win and we lose together. On the La Liga table, see Ambassa FBMO 4 points still. Madrid with 1 game in hand. So almost just how much now. They go in touching the stars of 1 point of FC Barcelona or Honor, and that's exactly how the game looks like it's going to be like over there. In the English Premier League, what's a group of games, set of games, a PML or Honor. And I've seen a lot of people saying, say, Mikel Arteta and the Arsenal side are too different. When it comes from the Manchester United team, and I've said several times, and you're not correct. You just cannot describe Mikel Arteta and the Arsenal side are being too defensive. I think that a proper team, well-packaged team, and they know exactly what to do. Almost use every needed facet of the game. The physicality, sometimes when you need to be fluid, when you need to sustain pressure, you need to attack consistently. They are able to do it every time. That is how good Mikel Arteta team on and off the ball. That's how good they have been on and off the ball. That's how solid the resolute Mikel Arteta team is not iron. And yesterday they did say they knew that Manchester United biggest threat from from counter attacks. So they obviously weren't going to leave Manchester United to have loads of the ball in terms of counter attack, to consistently counter attack them, turn the ball over. No, they were not going to be naive. Obviously, Mikel Arteta call matching, knowing that Manchester United can hit us from set play. So yeah, baby at even pounds on. We'll sit in the mid block. When we go and attack, we'll attack with fewer numbers. We'll have people behind. Just so when there's a turnover, they can win the ball and then get a job done. Yes, we'll try to press and counter press them and then pin them back. But you say your biggest attribute in a game, and this season, Obi also English Premier League say when it comes to us now, it's really about the set pieces and how they can hurt you from side zones. And that's what we are going to do. And that's what Arsenal with the set pieces, scoring 2 set piece goals, one from Hurricane team and the other one from Abranche Freno. Was it William Saliba? The ball came off the head of Abranche friend Thomas Partey and on Oboshim. Yes, you can tell Ruben Amorim's side are growing, but then there are levels to this thing. You can't just come inside and then get a job done away at the Emirates. Yes, they control certain parts of the game, but it was always going to be a matter of time. It was always going to be down to the details, the minutest of details, and what you get from games, how you can really influence the game. They're very, very important. And on the day, I think that Arsenal's Mikel Arteta were good. In the first half, Manchester United was solid. They were able to play through the press. We were able to find a lot of openings. I think that our build-up now has been very, very good this season. Yes, the press almost every time they get overloaded, but then again, it doesn't matter. I think that it's something that Arsenal really will go through. Manchester City, after all the losses that they've had, and now at Etihad, I did mention, say, they were going to get a win from there. LFA against my friend of Nottingham Forest, and they did. It was 3-0. Apparently, my friend Jeremy Doku got his goal. Of course, the other scorers were also there. And in terms of Manchester City and the goals that were going to come in, we knew it was going to be a difficult game. You look at Nottingham Forest, and they have one of the most stubborn away performances this season. Anytime they go away from home, they make it difficult for teams to get results against them. And then we're worried, can Manchester City go in and then get a job done? It was the first goal from Bernardo Silva in the 8th minute, and the next one from Kevin De Bruyne, assisted by Jeremy Doku. And then, of course, later in the game, there was a branch here, your friend Jeremy Doku, and a share 3rd goal for Manchester City. It means that Manchester City are back into the top 4 in the conversations, our English Premier League name, and that was a huge one. Then the bigger one went on at the same James's Park. We spoke about it. Say a banana skin game, and Obia or Kwakoshe match Nibia Liverpool Nibia should be careful. And I've said it several times. Say Liverpool and Team G League this season now. It is because the squad depth is not there. It is because during transfers they were not able to find players to rotate and rest consistently. And when they went away to Newcastle, the game became more physical, more Polish, more combative. And Newcastle always thrive in moments like that when they play against them. And I think that Liverpool did very well. How Ancelotti keeps on managing of games. And I've said it several times. Stylish of Fourier catcher me several times. For him, for Arne Slot, it's about how he manages game. The in-game management seems to be top notch. Yesterday, look at the time he took off Joe Gomez when he knew that the game had now become open. And it's about Rex reward. Let's bring him Trent Alexander-Arnold to hex them also in the other side. He threw in Trent Alexander-Arnold, created a chance, and then found Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah got a goal for him, and that was top level stuff for my brand friend Arne Slot and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Of course, I'm still missing a brand friend Ebu Konate, and I think that Liverpool are a very, very good side. They can go far only because they don't have that squad depth. Then obviously Enzo Maresca and then Chelsea went away to Southampton. I did say match was going to be a banana skin potential one. Now Chelsea and Shane here, they were going to have issues. In fact, after the game, Enzo Maresca said he had prepared a man-for-man marking, but not as intense, like I said last night. Not say a man-for-man marking, man-to-man marking. You're aggressive. You're making sure we need duels. You're pinning balls if you're short. Let's stay on people. Let's be aggressive, but not as intense as the Aston Villa one. It means that most of the time, Chelsea will be doing what we call the shadow cover. They will be preventing players. They will be blocking passing lanes instead of necessarily just following the ball everywhere. That's what they wanted to do. Enzo Maresca said, in the first 20 minutes, no, I catch your boys. They say, oh man, yes, sir. They are going to have problems. And that's what happened. And I think that I also said this here before in the analysis said, when you look at the Southampton side, they're able to play out from the back. They are not a bad team. And when you are playing with them, you need to be careful because if you give them chances, if you allow them to go in confidence, the fact that they are playing in the St. Mary's Park LFA with their fans, they may get some confidence and they will build from there. But we all knew, so they had issues. Paul Inuachu wasn't there. Leslie Gochuku, a player, wasn't there. Downing wasn't there. Devlin wasn't there. They have a lot of players out. And of course, even when their captain, Steven, was sent off, it made the job even more difficult for them. I mean, that was our matching, and it was always going to be something that Southampton was going to come to terms with. But there's certain things that Enzo Maresca said that for me made a lot of sense to me. Two, the facts say on Chelsea call match, Enzo Maresca said, our big problems with Noni Madueke. He said it, not my words. Enzo Maresca said, say Oshe ball na Chelsea, Noni Madueke boy, he could have scored a lot of goals. And again, I said it last night in the post-match analysis, said, Chelsea essentially after the 20th minute got a foothold of the game. They got it by pressing, counter-pressing, doing the man-for-man very well, and then creating overloads consistently. Noni Madueke got onto the end of a lot of chances because almost every time that Chelsea overloaded the right-hand side. Enzo was floating in that area. Cole Palmer was there. Noni Madueke was there. Malo Gusto was there. So almost every time in that right-hand space and then right-hand channel, that area, there were almost 4 or 5 Chelsea players consistently overloading those zones, and most of the chances did fall to Brian Feno, Noni Madueke. We have 1 assist and 1 goal. But Enzo Maresca said the reason in recent games Noni Madueke and Moye, and they said he has not been training ball, but training as a grow and so he's like a desical. And we've said it over here consistently, even you consistently more the comments they say Noni Madueke what issues with sometimes how he seems to be playing or partners in this animal, and he needs to watch it. And Enzo Maresca did mention, said, he could have scored 2 or 3 more goals, and he needs to do better. He believes so bit better. I think away from that, it was another performance where Enzo Fernandez showed a reason why he's an important player for the Chelsea team, especially when he has been able to do the job off the ball. Me and ladies are common. Say, Romeo Lavia elbow ahead of Enzo Fernandez. I mean, he had not taken his position particularly. That's a different conversation. And he said, Chelsea needs the physicality in certain games. Games you are Chelsea Kuma. He has our physical ability, he has combativeness. He will be in the near dings, he can cheer, will be in the near ding, will be a for ball in front. Because last season, one of the players he dribbled that was dribbled past the most in English Premier League was Enzo Fernandez. It was not good. He needed to improve in the defensive bit. Enzo Maresca dropping a few games. Now we've seen 3 games consistently. Enzo Fernandez has been spot on with and without the ball. The ball inside Enzo Fernandez beating. But without the ball, we knew that he had to develop without it. And you saw him in the game against Southampton, the game against Aston Villa. That was a difficult game to play in. And consistently, he seems to be developing without the ball. Same for João Felix. Said, I was one of the people that had a lot of issues with João Felix coming into Chelsea because I asked myself, said, Chelsea already has a 10 in Cole Palmer. You can play other guys as a 10, say, Union Mabitima Bokani Chukwemeka, Abitima Enzo Fernandez. So there's no point in bringing João Felix, who had not really succeeded at Barcelona, who for me wasn't working hard without the ball and was affecting his play. So how was he going to come to the Chelsea team and then play on? Now look at João Felix and now. Same as the game against Leicester City. And now same. Playing games winning duels, working hard without the ball, and then being solid with children. I think that it is something that you will give credit to Enzo Maresca. And then in the dying numbers of the game, not Chelsea away fans no air to Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca. See, let me show you that video. Watch the video of how a Chelsea fans no air to Enzo Maresca. Then let's continue.
And he comes from Italy. La 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 la, Enzo. La 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 la, Enzo. La 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 la, Enzo. And he comes from Italy.
Yeah, so those are the Chelsea fans consistently singing Enzo Maresca. Enzo we just touchline on the man or born and say make a chum say thank you for the mommy and all how they are showing him love. And Enzo went to the post-match press conference and I'm bizarre and say, hey, yeah, to say players no fans need to so more too. You know, say it feels nice. Many they have seen Chelsea suffer, go through hard times, go through difficult times. Now Enzo can send me. Those are not my words. You see, the last time I posted said Enzo Maresca is rocking my world. Though. The guy, he is making me get tired of myself. And he said something in the post-match. I say the fans are beginning to see that Chelsea is back. Hey Enzo, and you mean that they count Chelsea really back? It looks as if Chelsea is back because getting wins consistently. Like I saw earlier today, say this is the highest Chelsea have been in the English Premier League since I think January 2022 or so. And I also saw another one that Chelsea have in the history of Chelsea, the highest game to goal to game ratio, highest ever in the history. This season Chelsea has already 31 goals. Chelsea is the first team in the English Premier League to score 30 goals plus. First time this season, no team has done that. And Chelsea has about 8 more points or 9 more points than they did at the same time last season. So it tells you total transformation. And like all the boys are saying, I like the fact that even within the team, it's a player be benchy, waiting and China, we Babashema, everybody seems to support. It's a nice group. And then now, Sheku Palmer Bona, I mean, in Kukubona Kupama, then I was share. Then you look at the picture and clearly both of them are smiling and laughing about it because in Kuku, he said he couldn't do anything about it. Kopama, a stubborn boy, and then I was so now he went onto Instagram. Then Kopama then posted said, talking about the win, and then he posted that sorry Christopher and Kuku, but my FPL managers needed me. Talking about them now, I mean you can tell, say they've been some very good tidings our Chelsea team, and then of course see this Chelsea are back. I just went straight to BBC and then straight away BBC has it. Enzo Maresca said we are back. I agree, he's really something special, and that's it. I mean I think I have to accept it now. Chelsea are truly back, and Enzo Maresca this say it's okay. The Instagram not say early wake up with the right energy to continue improving. Talking about Enzo Maresca and in the boys now, Chelsea seem to be in a very good place in the excellent stuff. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Now subscribe to the channel. I entreat you to do so. Go back, subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. It is very imperative. So subscribe to the channel, no? And then make sure so enjoy analysis now as on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Of course, we'll see you. Until then, do take care. Bye-bye.